That was fireworks. That's all you get. That's all you get. Hi, everyone. Happy 4th of July. I realized that there was a good chance nobody was going to show up today. And I said, it's okay if no one shows up. I've got some drawing to do. I can turn the camera on and just whatever. So, excuse me. So I hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome to another live draw. I just woke up. I wasn't intending to fall asleep, but I was watching a show and it just came over me. I had some delicious food, and I tried a really decadent looking donut from a place in town called The Salty. I have never had a donut from The Salty before, and I bought 2 of them today. I didn't eat both of them. I ate one. Excuse me. And I've heard nothing but good things about this place. But I tried this one donut, and it was a peach cobbler donut. It's a donut that was like a fried ring, and it had a fried ring. That's what a donut is. Excuse me. So I have something stuck in my throat. Apologies. And in the middle of the fried ring, there's like a little crumbly bit thing and a bunch of fruit, and it's a peach cobbler. It's a peach cobbler donut. And I was really looking forward to it. And it just didn't excuse me, I'm so sorry. It didn't strike me very well. So the other donut that, please excuse me, I don't know what's going on. The other donut that I purchased and I have not eaten yet is a tiramisu flavored donut, which looks really great. But I'm trying to make sure that I don't put on too much weight if I can help it. I definitely could stand to lose a few pounds. I'm sitting right now, so I could also sit to lose a few pounds, or stand to lose a few pounds. But the point is, I don't want to eat everything in one sitting. So tomorrow morning, probably for breakfast, I will have I'll have my tiramisu donut. Maybe I'll feel better about that donut. We'll see. I don't know, but I could tell it was very high quality. The peach cobbler one tasted the flavor was just not hitting me right. It wasn't like it was bad. It wasn't hitting me right. I don't know why. You ever have a problem with that? Maybe it's because of what I ate right before, and then I but to me it's like after 3 or 4 bites of something, whatever the new thing that you're eating is should start to take over and kick in a little bit. I would think. Maybe. Who's to say? I don't have a good answer for any of this. So, with that, yeah, hi, welcome to Friday night. Welcome to the 4th of July. That is what today is. This is the first live stream recording I'm doing of July. Happy 4th of July to Samantha, who just said hello right there, I think. Thank you very much. Samantha is one of my YouTube channel members. And if you are not a channel member and you're thinking, how could I be a channel member so that Phil will say, here is so-and-so, the channel member, you just have to subscribe to my channel, and there's a little information at the bottom, and it'll tell you all about being a channel member. love. I'll have you more aware of how cool. It's very cool. So, yep, there, she says. This is where the comments are appearing. I'm doing this kind of a demo trial demo beta thing where if you're watching me live, if you're watching this and it's happening now, well, first of all, that means you're not out enjoying the festivities of the 4th of July, and that's okay. You don't have to. But if you are watching live, you are also invited to chat with anybody who's chatting, and you know, it's like a nice little social thing. You have a crown now. You have a crown? Where do you have a crown? It's probably showing you a crown on YouTube, and I can't see it. You get experience from commenting. Oh my good! I don't know what you're talking about. I should have all of the answers for these things, and yet I don't. And yet I don't have all of the answers, Samantha. But congratulations on getting a crown and for getting experience points from commenting. I think that's great, and I appreciate you being here. And if you are watching this and you're not Samantha or myself, and you're some other person, and you're wondering what's going on, I don't know. Just start commenting in the comment section, and maybe you too will get experience points. Maybe. Who's to say? It's new. Oh, okay. Well, I like new things. Okay. It's okay if you don't participate, by the way. If you're watching this and you're like, yeah, I don't feel like saying anything, I'm just going to be a troll, and I'm just I'm just going to sit here in the background and mind my own business. You are free to do that as well. I just want you to know, though, when I'm sitting here and I'm talking with people and I see a little number in the corner and it tells me how many people are watching, and it tells me whether they're on YouTube or Facebook, and that number, after I say something, immediately goes down. You may not care about that, but you should know that for me, that is a very disturbing moment. The only thing I can do in those moments is laugh, because I just think, what on earth could I have possibly said that was so offensive to make somebody go, nope, not for me? Maybe it wasn't offensive at all. Maybe you just didn't find me very entertaining or interesting. And that's, you're within your right, I say. You are within your right to have incorrect opinions. Okay. Lurk under a bridge, says Samantha. Yes, that's what trolls do. Well, what's going on, everybody? How's your week been? It's been a busy one for me. I've been doing a lot of work during the day, the daytime work. And the daytime work is, you know, that's the work that I do to keep the roof over me head, and the food in my belly, and the clothes on my back. So that's the work I do during the day. And so I've been doing a lot there, a lot in that sense. It's hot here, says Samantha. Yeah, it was hot here. It's hot here today. It's really gross and humid. It's very disgustingly muggy. Of course, it's been raining here in Austin off and on for like the last couple days. And I believe tomorrow we're supposed to get like 80% chance of thunderstorms. And then we go back to normal on Sunday, supposedly. And look, I am very excited to get rain in an area that has been plagued by doubt. Yes, plagued by doubt. Sorry. Apparently Austin is a place that is plagued by doubt. No, plagued by drought is what I was trying to say. Live in a place where drought is a very regular thing. And so when we get a lot of rain, I try not to be too upset about it, because I think to myself, boy, do we need the rain. Rain is so important here. Samantha says, I am also plagued by doubt. Yes, it is a horrible thing. Very uncomfortable to be plagued by doubt. I don't recommend it for anybody. So I'm really glad when we get rain, because I feel like, all right, let's try to restore some of the natural elements a little bit. Let's get some more moisture happening. Let's get some good. Let's raise the water levels of the creeks and the rivers and all that stuff. That would be really great if we could do that. Happy 4th to you, Bayou Bomber. Thank you very much. You saw that the parts of Texas are flooding bad. Yeah, I believe it because it's been coming down for 48 hours. Yeah. Look, the reason we flood so quickly here has to do with the structure of what we have in our ground. We don't have very absorbent ground. We have a shale rock layer, I believe is what it is, and not a lot of clay. Because of that, when the water comes down quite a bit, the water has nowhere to go. It doesn't have anywhere to absorb into. So it just sits. The water just sits, and people hydroplane, and it floods right away. You get flash flooding. And then you give it like a day or two where there's no rain, and suddenly the water is completely gone, and we are back to having a drought. So it's a very interesting area to live in. I don't know how much rain it would take to actually restore things to be not in a drought, but I think you'd have to have, a solid week or more of just rain, probably. I don't know. I'm sure there's a website or something where you can check the water table to find out, what's going on. As I'm talking with y'all right now, I can look out my window over there and over there, and I don't see any fireworks, but I hear them. I can hear a little like poof, poof, poof. So people are absolutely doing the fireworks thing, even though it's illegal, but also even though it's pretty wet outside. Like, I don't think this weather isn't good for fireworks. So why someone feels like they need to do it anyway, it's kind of beyond me. It's nuts for you. It's nuts in terms of the fireworks, Samantha. I believe it. People love to blow their stuff up, That's a thing that people love to do. And far be it from me to tell them not to blow their stuff up. What I find annoying is that it will continue for like a week or more. Fireworks will just keep going. Yeah, not a huge fan. If I had to be honest with you, do I think fireworks are cool? Yeah, I think they're cool. I just, I kind of got ruined on fireworks a little bit by spending a lot of time at Disney World, and you get to see a lot of amazing fireworks shows. And then it doesn't mean I don't like any fireworks anymore, but I'm just saying it's like I'm not super thrilled about it anymore, I guess is what it is. It's okay. It's fine. I just don't go out of my way to seek it out, Bayou says, I got fireworks going off right now outside my window. Well, there you go. Bayou knows. And look, and you're here. You have fireworks happening outside your window, and yet you're hanging out with me. Thank you for hanging out with me. If I didn't say that already, I do want to say that right now. Thank you guys for being here. As always, you could be anywhere on a Friday night. You chose to hang out with me, and that's really cool. And if you're messaging me in the live chat, thank you for that as well, because you're not only watching, but you're actively participating, and that means a lot to me as well. So I think I've proven time and time again that if nobody were to participate and I would have to simply prattle on for an hour by myself, that I could absolutely do that. I think I've proven that. But what I will tell you is, I don't always want to do that. I don't necessarily want to hear me talking to myself. Sometimes I enjoy it, but sometimes it's like, oh, hey, Kristen's here. Happy 4th. Hey, Kristen. Bayou says, fireworks are fun, but they are more fun with friends who are, in fact, live too far to hang out with at this time. I'm sorry to hear that. I do understand having friends all over the place and nowhere near you. I do understand that. I have a good number of friends that are not living in Austin, and some of you are those friends with some of you people who hang out with me here. So thanks for being here. Thanks for the thumbs up, Kristen. You look tired. Yeah, I just woke up. Kristen. It wasn't, the plan was not take a nap. I don't like to take naps, but I had just finished eating dinner and I was watching a YouTube video and I fell asleep. I didn't mean to. And then I woke up and I went, whoa, what time is it? Did I miss my live stream? And it said, no, Phil, you have 8 minutes until 9 o'clock. And I went, oh, goodness. I suppose I should start doing the live stream thing. Who's messaging me? Oh, it is. Yeah, sorry. I had to answer this. That is a work related. I had a work related message come in. I had to answer it. Bayou says it's too dangerous to be out and about with people acting like fools tonight. It's safer to be inside. Bayou, I couldn't agree more. I don't know if it's me getting older. I don't think it is. I've always leaned toward the side of wanting to be on the safe side. I just don't feel like it's really worth it to risk being outside with a bunch of people who don't know how to drive. So why would I do that? Samantha says naps are amazing. Yeah, well, you know, naps have never been a thing that I've loved personally, but if you love naps, that's what matters. And yeah, so okay, so that's. I hope you had a great day. I hope you had some really excellent food. I hope you spent some time with some folks that you care about. I hope you did the usual lovely festivities of 4th of July. And Samantha says, I sure do. I sure do love those naps. Yeah, I know you do. Bayou says, amen. Louisiana drivers suck. You risk your life every time you get behind the wheel, but I know Texas is no better. Oh, yes, that is 100% correct. Texas is not better at all as far as drivers are concerned. So let me just tell that person to stop texting me. Okay, apologies, everybody. Stray Kids fan says, hey, I'm back. Hey, welcome, Stray Kids fan. Thank you for being here. Samantha says, I could take a morning nap, and an afternoon nap, and an evening nap. Well, you know what that's called, Samantha? That is called sleeping the entire day. That is not a nap. That is just you choosing to not do anything but sleep. Stray Kids says, I am watching the fireworks with my grandma and sister. That is awesome. And you're talking with me at the same time. Look at you. Look at you being a multitasker. I genuinely think that that's wonderful. I hope, though, that your grandmother and your sister aren't mad at you being on your phone while you're trying to watch the fireworks. Because you should definitely be present. And if it means not being here with me, then you should absolutely go and be present with them. Even though, let's be honest, the better choice is to hang out here. We all know that's true. But I'll give you a pass just this one time if you would like to go and be with your sister and your grandmother. I'll understand. I won't hold it against you. I'm not keeping score. Stray Kids fans, 0. Phil, 1. All right. So, anyway, one moment. I was eating some M&Ms before this live stream, as I am often wont to do. And sometimes when you have a peanut inside of an M&M and it just doesn't break down correctly, it gets stuck right here in your throat. And I'm dealing with that right now, I think. And so if I cough tonight, I want you to know it is not because I am sick. It is because I'm choking slightly on something. And that is a really unpleasant feeling, but I can't really do anything about it, can I? All right, so what am I working on tonight? Well, I think you may recall I've been working on scene 43 for a little while now. But scene 43 started to get a little bit away from me. And by away from me, I mean it has been expanding. It is now, I believe, the 5th highest number of drawings for a single scene in New Ad Day. scene 43. I don't think I anticipated that that was going to happen. And yet it did happen. How much more do I have to do of scene 43, Phil? You may ask. Well, that's an excellent question. I don't have the answer to that question, but I can tell you I'm on the back end of scene 43. I'm just going through now and like tweaking things and adding a few frames here and there where I see it necessary. Tonight, I would like to kind of want to like tweak some drawings that I've already made. Maybe I'll do some in-betweening tonight. I'll be perfectly honest with you. My original plan was to do some warm-ups and get myself ready for this live stream. I was going to do that half an hour before the live stream started, and it didn't happen. I fell asleep, and I feel very underprepared, and I'm slightly embarrassed. And I almost didn't come here to do the live tonight. But I said no. The people demand that I show up on the 4th of July, and I then said to myself, no one's demanding that, man. You could have skipped tonight and it would have been fine. But I didn't skip tonight. Perhaps I should have, but I didn't. So thank you for hanging out with me as I try to figure out what am I going to draw. I don't know. I'm going to figure it out. I've got a drawing that I've already done. I've looked at this drawing. I've looked at this drawing for a week or two now, and I just want to tweak it a little bit. I don't really know why it's not hitting me right, but it's not hitting me right. If I can get this if I can adjust this properly and make it look better, then I may have something here. But what I need to do first is figure out where is the other drawing that I was building off of. Pardon me. You're seeing a Phil that is not 100% was not 100% ready for a live draw tonight. So just if you don't mind me being slightly off my game and all that, I just need to look through these drawings and figure out where I left off. But yeah, I'm let's see, how many drawings is this scene right now? Let me pull this up real quick. I'll just tell you. 106 drawings. So it's 106 drawings already. But what I'll tell you is it's probably higher than that, because you see some of these images are combinations of more than one drawing merged together. So it's probably higher than 106, but 106 is what what I have listed as separate drawings. Okay, let me just figure out. I gotta find frame. I think it's 13. If I can find 13, I can probably get started here. All of this to tell you, I am thinking that next week I may be on a different scene. Maybe. I don't know for sure. I feel like I'm approaching the end of this scene. I'm pretty sure I am. Oh, why is that there? Well, you know, good thing I have these things numbered, but they're definitely not properly in order. I can tell you that much. Okay, so that's what's going on here. So this is one stack, and then I have another stack that just happens to be sitting on top of it, and it's not necessarily in the right order. Great. Who doesn't love that? I don't love that. That's who doesn't love it. All right, there we go. So those go together. Stray Kid says, I am not happy. School will start again for me on the 13th. What? The 13th of next month? What are you talking about? Are you saying August 13th you're going to go back to school? Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're telling all of us watching? Did I hear that? Well, I didn't hear it. I just read it. But did I read it? August 13th? Is that correct? Is that really what's going on here? Okay, I am missing a drawing. Now, this is not good. I need to figure out where this drawing went. I've got drawings stacked out all over the place here. And I need to figure this. Ah, there it is. Okay, there's drawing 12B. Let's move my keyboard off of where that is. That is not helping me one bit. I went to go see Jurassic World yesterday. Jurassic World Rebirth, and I wrote a review on my Facebook profile. If you're curious about my review, I have a public profile on Facebook, very public, perhaps too public. But you are more than welcome to go and check out my review if you like that kind of thing. Some people have told me they like reading my reviews, so that's why I'm letting you know about it. I didn't do a video. Sometimes I do a video review. I just did a text thing. Summer is almost over for the youths. Is it really? That can't be right. That doesn't seem right. I don't love that for you guys, for y'all. I don't love that. Boy, this is just a bit of a conundrum I'm having. Okay. Yeah, I don't have these in the right order. Let's see. I'm not happy about it because I don't like getting up early in the morning because I have to get up at 6. What grade are you in, Stray Kids, where you have to get up at 6? Are you... What? Why? Why do you have to get up that early? Why would anybody make you get up that early? That doesn't seem appropriate. Is this the drawing I was looking for? It's not. I feel like I'm missing something here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm definitely missing something. I need to find number 13, and I don't have 13 where it's probably buried in this stack somewhere. Let me look at the other stack. I've got multiple stacks. I know this is such an unprofessional live stream tonight. I don't care. You know what? It's a holiday. Let me be. Quit putting all this pressure on me. Thank you for the thumbs up from Elam Runs over on Facebook. Thank you very much. You're a junior. Oh, junior. Yeah. Okay. Now, are you going to be going to college, or are you going to skip all that noise? Carrie, hi Phil. Just reread your Jurassic Park review. You reread it. I'm curious how you would rank them all, but that may be too much to think about here. Yeah, that's a tough one. Ranking them all is a tough one. Let me see if I can talk through that a little bit. Yeah, this is. Wait a minute. Oh, did I just find drawing 13? Did I just? No. Oh, it is 13, but it's not the. Ah, there it is! It was buried! Ha 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 ha! Why would I let that happen? Why would I do that to myself? Okay. Oh my gosh, this is an unruly pile of drawings. This is the only downside to drawing on paper. It's not really a downside, it's sort of just part and parcel of drawing on paper is you have to sort through things that are physical. It's just a little bit of a whoa, he said. Oh my goodness, what is happening here? All right. Oh my gosh. This is just a little too much fun and excitement for me. You don't know about that? So you don't know what you're going to be doing after school. Okay. That's okay. I wasn't trying to add pressure. I was just wondering if you were building up toward something specific like that. And I wasn't sure. Because I know junior year can be kind of geared around that. As I recall, as I was once a student as well. All right, put this stack of drawings over here. Bring that drawing there. Okay, all right, now I'm getting somewhere. So, This was the drawing I was looking for, you see. And why was I looking for this drawing? Well, because I need to do a transition from this drawing to this one, but this is the one that I kind of want to tweak and change, so I don't. So I'm gonna adjust this one a little bit first, and then I'm gonna go back in, and then figure out. Yeah, okay. I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring it out. This scene is comprised of new guy and warehouse guy, and they're sort of like in the same scene. They don't touch each other or anything necessarily, but like one character walks behind the other character, and they kind of interact. There's like a push and pull, and so I need them both to be doing things, but then sometimes one of them stops doing something and the other one does something. It's sort of like a good way to volley where the attention of the audience goes, and making sure that when someone's talking that they get the focus and you don't distract them with other stuff happening. So anyway, that's what's going on. Carrie, to answer your question about ranking the Jurassic Park movies, before I start getting into some drawing here, obviously the first one is the best one. I'm not even going to have that debate. Okay? Okay. When The Lost World came out in 1997, I was really irritated, and I'm going to tell you why. I don't know if, on the other end of this statement, I don't know if I'm going to be ranking anything. But I may, through explaining to you how I feel, a ranking may emerge, okay? Those of you that are just popping in right now, because I do see the number in the room going up a bit, we're talking about Jurassic World and Jurassic Park. And I went to go see Rebirth last night, and I wrote a big old review on Facebook about it. So Carrie, who is in the room with me right now, has asked me what my thoughts are on ranking the films, and so I'm about to say a little bit about that. So, I read both books by Michael Crichton. I like as soon as I explain what I'm about to do, people are like, "Peace." I read the books by Michael Crichton, and I love the books. For those of you who have not read the books, they're definitely worth a read. I will say, there's a number of things that did not happen from the first book in the first movie. But because the first movie really knew what it was and was very, very confident, and it's just a very tight story, it didn't really matter. See, like, I don't mind if a director wants to take a story away from the source material, so long as the choices that they make for the film work just as well or maybe better, right? I don't mind that. But if the director starts to make changes, or the writer of the script or whatever makes changes away from the source material and they're not as good, well, that's when I get kind of irritated, because it's like, you already had a really good idea and you chose not to go with it. Which to me reeks of ego. Just putting that out there. I know there's a lot of egos in the creative worlds, creative industry. The industry that I'm a part of, even if I'm only a part of it from like a fringe side, I have observed and I can see that there are a lot of egos at play in the industry. Okay, so Lost World came out, and I felt like the movie was not good. Over time, I have softened on Lost World somewhat. I still feel like it didn't follow the book very well, and unfortunately, that book, The Lost World, when I read it, I remember thinking, man, this book reads like a screenplay for a movie. The first one did not necessarily read that way, but it felt like Michael Crichton was writing the second one with a movie in mind, and it played out more like a movie. And then they didn't follow the stuff that the movie did, or the book did. So I was pretty irritated about it. And to be fair, The Lost World felt very, I don't know, it just felt like a step down in concept and character development. And through the magic of time and watching a bunch of stuff in recent years that really doesn't pay attention to character and story. Now the Lost World looks a lot better. So there's that. When Jurassic Park 3 came out, it felt like a not necessary entry. It felt like, why are we doing this? You know, the Lost World at least kind of made sense. There was this idea that, well, we're going to count our losses from the park. We're going to go back and try to wrangle some animals, excuse me, and we're going to try to build a park somewhere else that's more cost effective. And then you had the idea of like conservation and this secondary group of characters. Let's go in and try to, photograph them in their habitat so we can get public opinion on our side. Okay. I felt like that was connected enough to the original that it made sense. Jurassic Park 3 was just an odd situation because it just randomly you insert a character that was on vacation and was stranded on the island, and now his parents want to get him rescued off. Okay, it just that premise feels very like, what if someone got lost? But I have a very big love and appreciation for Jurassic Park 3. I think it's a fun movie. It's a very like not necessary premise, but the movie ends up being really fun. A lot of people throw shade at Jurassic Park 3. Not I. I do agree that it felt kind of not necessary, but because of the tie-in with Alan Grant and the like, oh hey, like paleontology is moving forward and we've been able to rapid prototype, 3D print this inner vocal chamber of a velociraptor. Like that was cool. It felt like they were pushing the franchise forward in a way. Okay. And then you still had the cool stuff between like Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler and kind of like the unrequited love thing. There was enough connective tissue that made Jurassic Park 3 still feel like it was an outing worth taking. Okay. Why is my Wi-Fi connection is fairly good? Why don't I have an amazing connection? My router's right there and I'm hardwired into it. Why am I not 3 bars instead of 2 bars? I don't understand this. Okay. All right, so that's the original trilogy, right? And if I was going to be ranking the original trilogy, I probably would have said, well, at the time I would have said Jurassic Park was number 1. I probably would have said out of anger that Lost World was number 3 and JP3 was number 2, just because I felt like JP3 was a more fun movie for me. Going back and looking at it now, I don't know. I'd have to really think about it. I have to go back and really think about it. Then you have the Jurassic World trilogy, okay? And I remember really, really being so excited when the first Jurassic World came out, even though the visual effects, like the dinosaur effects, it really looked like it took a step backwards in the quality. Like the dinosaurs of Jurassic World look like it was made before Jurassic Park. It's not great. And I believe that is because we had entered the era of we need more and more visual effects, and we need them to be faster and cheaper. And studios were putting unrealistic expectations on the visual effects. So I think Jurassic World suffers from that. But dinosaur effects aside, I can't believe I'm saying that about a Jurassic movie because that's the whole frickin' point. Dinosaur effects aside, I really did enjoy Jurassic World. It felt like, I don't know, it felt like a spiritual successor. It felt like it built on the legacy of the original. There's a lot to like about Jurassic World. Still not as good as Jurassic Park. Okay. The next 2 films after that are where things get kind of sticky, because Fallen Kingdom, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I remember thinking, this is a weird movie. It is so weird. I don't dislike it, but it's like two different movies. The first movie taking place on the island with a volcano, and everything is, you have to go and rescue the dinosaurs off the island. And then we leave the island, and now we have this other part of the movie where we're auctioning off dinosaurs in the lower levels of a mansion. It's weird, right? It's not bad. I like that they were doing something different, but it's just odd. So, and then you have all of like the horror elements of the Indoraptor stalking our heroes through the house. Just a very strange movie. You've got like a monster. It's a monster in the house movie. The second half of that movie. All right, I you know, from a creativity standpoint, Fallen Kingdom feels like it's more creative, but because it's broken up so weird, I really don't know how to place all these films. I'm just sort of going over them in my head and trying to work through it. So that's the best you're going to get tonight instead of a ranking system. Then you've got Dominion. Oh, before I go to Dominion, what does Bayou Bomber say? Bayou says, Fallen Kingdom pushed the boundaries of believability to the point of breaking it. Okay. I could see that. As in the ending did. No way anyone in America would coexist with that. Oh, you're saying how at the ending, dinosaurs are just now like out in the world. Now it's a Jurassic World because they're just out there. Yeah. But I liked that idea because I was just like, what else are we going to do? I mean, how many times can you go to an island, you know? This seems sort of ridiculous to try to repeat that premise too many times. So I wasn't mad at them bringing him to the mainland because I thought, well, you know, you might as well try to do something a little bit different. Now, before I talk about the following two films, I'm going to say this. I have always felt like the franchise started out in the realm of science fiction and has very quickly turned on a dime and made a sharp left turn from the science fiction world and went straight into action adventure. Almost like family action adventure. And I understand why they did that. I get it. It was probably a financial choice. Take your kids to go see the dinosaur movie. I get it, right? I can't fault them for that as a business decision. It's I get it. I saw the first Jurassic Park with my dad. I understand why that's like a thing you would take your kids to. There's a magic about dinosaurs, and if you turned the franchise into straight up science fiction, there's a good chance you would turn people away. That being said, I think it would be way more interesting if they went more into the sci-fi area, like the dangers and the problems of cloning and, you know, man playing God and twisting science for profit. And I think those themes, they've always been hinting at those themes through the Jurassic films, but they've never really embraced that concept and really ran with that. And that's been my big complaint. And I thought the newest film was going to fix that, and it doesn't. And that's why I'm upset about the new one. But before I talk about that, I'm just going to go back to talk about, what does Bayou say? It's not a realistic scenario. Are you going to use excessive force against humans trying to kill dinosaurs in self-defense? Yeah, and these are all fair questions. They've definitely painted themselves into a kind of corner. But a bigger point is we need to stop remaking movies or adding sequels, prequels, etc. Well, that's not going to happen. While I may agree with you, Bayou, it's not going to happen because, unfortunately, intellectual property strength brings in a lot more guaranteed returns than creating something new. I guess I'm not going to be drawing tonight. Realize that. Oh well. Dominion. Dominion then came out, and that's like the final film in the Jurassic World trilogy. I am one of the few people out there who will tell you I really, really liked Dominion. And of the 3 Jurassic World films, I think Dominion's probably my favorite because it feels like it's like a, I don't know, like it does everything. It brings in all these characters I love, and it kind of blends it all together, and we get some weird stuff that happens, but like the dinosaur effects are better. They kind of better than the original Jurassic World. There's a lot to like about Dominion. I understand the complaints about Dominion. I do get it. A lot of people don't like Dominion because it's too much. They threw in a bunch of different things, and it was like it was trying to tell too many stories in one movie. So I get that, but they were trying to wrap up a trilogy, and when you're trying to wrap up a trilogy, I think you're trying to tie up loose ends, right? And that can be a danger of telling a trilogy. When you start something off, there's kind of less pressure because it's just a starting point, and where you go from there is, you know, wherever you go from there. So I think of the 3 Jurassic World films, I actually think Dominion might be my favorite one. I really do like Fallen Kingdom. It's just a very weird, fractured movie. Thanks for the heart, James Furlong on Facebook. And I really enjoyed the original Jurassic World, but it's basically a retelling of the original Jurassic Park, right? So I kind of, I appreciate that movie for what it is. I just feel like it's a retread, right? And I do like when films take a chance, even if the chance they take is something like people debate about whether it was worth taking. I respect it more, and I kind of like the interesting things that they do. Okay, so that's I didn't really rank them all, but that's just my general thoughts on all of them. And then I'm not going to reread to you my review about Rebirth. I'm just going to say this about Rebirth. There are elements of all of the Jurassic films squished into Rebirth, but Rebirth feels to me, if every movie gives you a vibe, Rebirth gives me Lost World and JP3 vibes. It feels like those 2 movies like had a baby or had a genetic clone made of them and squished it together. Tossed into that are a bunch of references to the original Jurassic Park. Too many references, if you ask me. I don't need you to remind me that we're watching a movie inspired by the 1993 movie. I don't need you to do that. I know why I'm here. If the audience doesn't know why we're here, tough noogies. Go back and watch the original one. You don't need the new film to constantly be like, That's what this movie did. See, we did this thing because they did it before, and now we're doing it now. See how we did that? That's what they do in the new one. They keep doing that, and I half expected to see a can of Barbasol show up at some point. It doesn't, that I noticed. Did they try something different with the new one? Not really. The thing that they tried is they go the route, the science fiction route, right? Where they're like, we're making monsters now. We're not, right? The problem with, like, I was most looking forward to that. I'm like, oh, you're gonna do sci-fi monsters that are not really dinosaurs? Go on. I was intrigued by that idea. What would have been great would be if they were excuse me, if they would have explored it with some of the story. They don't. They just sort of tell you, by the way, in 2008, some scientists on this island were making monsters. There's not a lot of like, they did try to explain that it was because people were not excited about seeing dinosaurs anymore, which I don't believe that's not even a believable, that's even a less believable premise than dinosaurs roaming, the world. People are going to get sick of going to see dinosaurs. What are you talking about? People still go to zoos and aquariums. Anyway, they do explain that because people were tired of seeing dinosaurs, there's dinosaur fatigue, that they started making mutants and monsters and things. Okay, I guess, but I personally, I want to see characters talking about that. I want to see the science fiction, and I want to see the moral implications. I want them to discuss and delve into that. Maybe that's not as exciting, okay? That's probably why they didn't do it. They realize audiences want to eat popcorn and watch dinosaurs running around chasing people. And so their idea is, well, how can we sprinkle something different in there, but not put too much of it in there because we don't want to get away from the thing that makes people go to the theater. So let's pull back on any actual like exposition. Dare we introduce story into the mix? We're just going to go ahead and skip all that. And we're going to get to the running and the screaming. And that's my problem with the film is, look, we're going to go back to an island. We're repeating the formula. You can't even bother to come up with a different formula? Really? That's my problem. It's not that it's not handled well. It's handled well enough. The characters are weird. I don't know that I like all the characters. And then there's like these little things that it feels like they are unable to untether themselves. Does every Jurassic film have to have a child? Do you have to? I understand the idea of if there's a child, then there's a heightened sense of danger. I guess that's why they do it. But it just feels silly for it to happen in every movie. There has to be a child in every movie? Really? Anyway, Bayou says they got to earn those nostalgia bucks somehow. Yeah, nostalgia bucks. And boy, does Rebirth cash in on nostalgia bucks. Heavily cashes in on it. Yeah. This became a discussion about Jurassic Park. I don't know how I thought I was going to get away from talking about Jurassic Park after watching the movie. I am going to go see it a second time. Does that make me a hypocrite? I don't know. I'm not saying you shouldn't see it. Excuse me. I usually see a film that I am looking forward to seeing. I usually see it twice. Sometimes I like to go see a film and let it wash over me and not think too much about it. And the other time, I like to go and analyze the heck out of it. And seeing Jurassic World Rebirth last night, I analyzed the heck out of it, and I couldn't help but do that. So, I'm going to go see it again next week, and I'm going to try to let it wash over me and not think about it too much. That's where I'm at with it. Now that I already know what happens, I already know what to expect, I know the whole story, I'm just going to go and eat some popcorn and watch some dinosaurs chase some people. But if I'm being honest with you, I wanted more, and I did not get more. It doesn't mean it's not a good movie. It doesn't mean it's not a fun movie. It just means it was a disappointment for those of us who wanted more. That's it. Thank you, Christina Jelinek over on Facebook for the like. I appreciate you. This is, like I said, this is normally a night where I draw and I talk with people while I'm drawing. And because of Jurassic World Rebirth, it has taken over my brain, and I wasn't able to get any drawing done tonight. I'm sorry. I said it was a live draw, and it wasn't. It was a live discussion about the Jurassic films. I hope that was okay. I'm probably going to do a little bit of drawing once I turn the camera off, ironically enough. Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. But I got 5 minutes. I guess I can turn the camera around and sketch for a few minutes. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? You know, I've been getting some comments on my review, and some people have said, "Hey, I took my kids and my spouse. We had a great time." Good. I mean, I'm glad you had a good time. I get it. Some people are just, that's what they want. That's all of it. That's all they wanted, was to go and just to have a little bit of fun at the movies. I cannot fault them for that. My expectations are slightly higher than just roar, stomp, roar. You know what I mean? By the way, I am still using my old eraser that was getting smaller and smaller last time I showed it to you. This is the eraser. Okay? I should probably stop using it. And do I have another one? Of course I have another one. It's brand new. It's right here. I've got it. I just haven't started using it yet. It's become like a game for me to see how much longer I can tolerate using this. I do this all the time. I do it with groceries. I don't know if you guys do this with groceries. It becomes like a game. Should I go and buy stuff that I'm out of? Probably. But do I go and buy it? No. I look and see what I've got in the house, and I go, hey, let's try to use what I've got already. And let's just keep going. See how many days I can not go to the grocery store. It becomes like a game. I don't know why. Sometimes it's a money-saving thing. Sometimes it is. So this drawing, you might be wondering, why am I erasing parts of this drawing and not simply drawing a new drawing? Well, it's a very good question. And I mentioned it at the beginning of the hour. It is because I was not convinced that I loved this drawing, and so I've been looking at it for the last like 2 weeks, and I'm just sort of like, it's bothering me. So is there anything I can do about it before I base additional drawings off of it? Is there anything I can do to improve on it? So I'm going to try to improve on this drawing. I'm just gonna dink away with it a little bit and see if I can find a better solution here. And I can't tell you exactly what's throwing me off. I think it's his expression. Something about the expression is just not working for me, and I don't know why. And I'm gonna figure it out. I'm determined. As I listen to the fireworks outside. What do you guys think? How do you feel about the Jurassic films? Am I overanalyzing things to the point where you're thinking to yourself, geez, Phil, it's just a dinosaur movie? What do you think? You know, maybe it's just a dinosaur movie. Jurassic Park means a lot to me. It's a very special film franchise to me. Some of you may know this. Some of you may not know this. For many years, I was studying to be a paleontologist, and Jurassic Park didn't inspire that. But let me rephrase that. I already wanted to be a paleontologist before Jurassic Park, but Jurassic Park only ignited that passion even more, is what I was trying to say. Bayou says anything after the first felt optional. Yeah, I agree. Anything after the first felt optional. I agree. And Samantha says it's not just a dinosaur movie. Thank you. Thank you. Well, to be fair, the original film revolutionized the industry. It revolutionized it from a special effects standpoint. and special effects and visual effects, it was a game changer. The movie industry is what it is right now because of Jurassic Park. You may not realize it, but it literally changed the way things were done. So just dinosaurs aside, just from a cultural significance standpoint, yeah, it broke ground. We can't deny that. So. Huh, I don't know if I love how that's going. Hmm. Hmm. No, I don't like that. See, I may have just messed with something that didn't need messing with, and now I'm anyway. I'm not going to say what I was thinking. Like I said, there's always been moral implications. There's always been this underpinning, and Jurassic World did a good job with this by keeping the character of Henry Wu, played by B.D. Wong. They've done a really good job in keeping him as like the connective tissue between all the films. They did a really good job with that, and I think that like making sure the scientists were still part of the story. That's why Jurassic World felt like it still had something to say. Why the film is called Jurassic World Rebirth, I don't really understand. It's not rebirthing anything. They're not starting up a new park. They're not introducing. The only thing they're introducing is that there were additional genetic hybrid mutations that we didn't know about. That's all they're introducing. So it's not really a rebirth. The title doesn't really make any sense. And I think you may be asking yourself, well, Phil, why do you care about the title? Because the title is a statement. The title tells you what the point of the film it's supposed to. It tells you what the film is, right? The Lost World. Well, the idea behind The Lost World plays off of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's book, The Lost World. But the idea is that like the dinosaurs are not in cages anymore, in fences and stuff, and so this island has turned into kind of a lost world. That's the idea behind The Lost World. Okay, Jurassic Park 3. Well, that title doesn't really say anything other than it's the third in the franchise. Not a great title. Jurassic World, you know, they renamed the park. They made a new park and they called it Jurassic World. Okay, that's fine. Fallen Kingdom. There you go. I mean, we've got the island blowing up from a volcano. And so you could talk about that being the Fallen Kingdom. But you could also talk about like the plans to sell off dinosaurs and auction them off as a fallen, like the kingdom has fallen. You could look at it like that, like how far everything has fallen and how that doesn't work and how that crumbles in the end. Okay, right? Dominion, I think, works as a title also because it's like talking about the species, which species has dominion over the other species, and there's an under-threaded story in that movie about mutations affecting locusts and things like that.
and it plays off of genetic dominion or species dominion. There's a point for that title. So if there's a point to the Rebirth title, I would love to know what it is, because I've been noodling with it all day in the back of my head, and I cannot seem to figure out why they would call it that. Other than it is nothing to do with the story, and it is simply them saying, hey, remember how the Jurassic World franchise ended? Surprise! Here's another Jurassic World movie in name only. We're rebirthing the fact that we're making movies again. That's the only thing I could come up with. If I'm wrong, let me know that I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong in the comments. I mean, that's fine. I couldn't find a point to it. I had a fun time watching the movie. It's fun. There's fun stuff in it, but there's also like a level of crassness with the characters. There is something very crass about them. It feels like they're playing to such a modern audience that they're roping in stuff about modern society that I kind of am irritated by. They wrote in some irritating characters, and I don't love that. And then you have a really weird casting choice where you've got the guy that is funding the entire operation, and then like a paleontology expert, and structurally their faces look very similar. It's like two relatively thin, moderately built, but maybe a little bit more jacked up than anybody's letting on, white guys. And I'm not saying that was like wrong, but I am saying visually it was confusing. One of them maybe should have had a beard or whatever. I'm just saying, like, there needs to be some visual differences between your characters so that when they're running across the screen or something happens quickly, your brain can go, oh, right, the guy with the beard. Oh, right, the guy with, one of them had glasses, but there were really thin glasses, and I don't think that was a good enough distinction. I get that's why they gave him glasses, was to make him distinct from the other character. I just think the casting wasn't appropriate on that. So, am I being nitpicky? Yeah, I am being very nitpicky right now. And I kind of promised myself I wasn't going to do that. I was just going to go watch a movie about dinosaurs and sort of just let it go. But apparently I can't do that because I care about this franchise way too much. And let me add to the point, I never wanted it to be a franchise to begin with. I would have been fine if it was just one movie, maybe two. I kind of felt like they tried so hard to make it into a franchise when it kind of had no business being one. You know what I mean? To that effect, I feel similarly about Ghostbusters. I'm glad they're making more Ghostbusters. The fanboy in me is happy about it. And also, because they didn't bake it into the cake from the beginning, it feels forced. If you don't go out from the beginning to design a franchise to be a franchise, you run the risk of it feeling like a money grab. Of course it's a money grab, by the way. No one's disputing that, but I don't want it to feel like a money grab. You know what I mean? I want to go and watch it and go, wow, this is cool. They're telling some fun stories. I don't want to go and be like, wow, they felt like they had to make another one. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. I have rambled on way too much. I'm going to keep drawing, but I'm not going to do it on camera. I've kept you guys long enough. I feel like I don't want to hold you hostage, and I don't want to overstay my live stream welcome. So thank you guys for being here. I know I didn't do a lot of drawing tonight. I am going to do some drawing right now, off camera. But have a wonderful rest of your 4th of July. Thank you for joining me and listening to me ramble about dinosaur movies. That really wasn't what I was planning, but it just sort of happened. And yeah, I appreciate you guys. I'll see you next week. I may have more drawing related discussions next week than I did today. It happens. What are you gonna do? All right, guys.